I am reminded today of Paul's emphatic word to the Corinthian church found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 14. If Christ is not risen, then our preaching is vain, and your faith is also vain. Belief in the resurrection is clearly an imperative if I call myself a Christian. I think there is a second fundamental imperative belief for Christians as well. It might sound obvious, but that fundamental imperative belief is the belief that Jesus was indeed the Messiah, the one promised throughout the Old Testament. Over the next several weeks, our Wednesday studies will explore the evidence and make what I hope is a compelling argument that Jesus, and only Jesus, is the one spoken of by the prophets. We will pull from a variety of sources, including Lee Strobel's wonderful book, The Case for Christ. In fact, to introduce the study, please allow me to read a story from The Case for Christ. It was an uneventful Saturday at the Hiller home in Chicago. Clarence Hiller spent the afternoon painting the trim on the outside of his two-story house on West 104th Street. By early evening, he and his family had retired to bed. However, what happened next would change criminal law in America forever. The Hillers woke in the early morning hours of September 19th, 1910, and became suspicious that a gas light near their daughter's bedroom had gone out. Clarence went to investigate. His wife heard a quick succession of sounds, a scuffle, two men tumbling down the stairs, two gunshots, and a slamming of the front door. She emerged to find Clarence dead at the foot of the stairs. Police arrested Thomas Jennings, a convicted burglar, less than a mile away. There was blood on his clothes. His left arm had been injured, both, he said, from falling on a streetcar. In his pocket, they found the same kind of gun that had been used to shoot Clarence Hiller, but they couldn't determine if it was the murder weapon. Knowing they needed more to convict Jennings, detectives scoured the inside of Hiller's home in a search for additional clues. One fact soon became obvious. The killer had entered through a rear kitchen window. Detectives went outside, and there, next to that window, forever imprinted in the white paint that the murder victim himself had so carefully applied just to a railing just hours before his death, they found 4 clear fingerprints from someone's left hand. Fingerprint evidence was a new concept at the time, having been recently introduced at an international police exhibition in St. Louis. So far, fingerprints had never been used to convict anyone of murder in the United States. Despite strong objections by defense attorneys that such evidence was unscientific and inadmissible, 4 officers testified that the fingerprints in the paint perfectly matched those of Thomas Jennings and him alone. The jury found Thomas Jennings guilty. The Illinois Supreme Court upheld his conviction in a historic ruling, and he was later hanged. The premise behind fingerprint evidence is very simple. Each individual has unique ridges on his or her fingers. When a print found on an object matches the pattern of ridges on a person's finger, investigators can conclude with scientific certainty that this specific individual has touched that object. In the Old Testament, there are numerous prophecies about the Messiah. Essentially, these prophecies combine to create what we might think of as a fingerprint that only the Messiah would be able to match. And we will see over the next few weeks that Jesus and only Jesus matched them perfectly. I hope you'll join me each week.